This is an open message to Rush Limbaugh from Dave the Programmer. You know, like Joe the Plumber and Dave the Programmer. So, yeah, I know. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Rush, you're a failure. Not in the long term. Life-wise, you're a big success. But right now, as leader of the conservative movement, you failed, and I need you to own that. I need you to publicly own failure. In the lead up to the 2006 and 2008 elections, I think you saw the writing on the wall. You knew exactly what was going to happen. I saw it too. 2006 budget debate in the Senate. I mean, there were conservative Republicans who were just lamenting what was going to happen. They saw it, that they needed to take action. They just ended up spending us into defeat. And that cascaded over into this election cycle too. So you saw it happening, and for you, conservative ideas were not the focus. You just tried to rally the base so we could hold on to power. Well, that's desperation, Rush. That's not going to lead us to victory. And don't say there wasn't desperation. I mean, I remember you saying very plainly, the most important thing is to win, or something like that. Well, it's not, man. I said at the time, I disagree. The most important thing is that our ideas and our ideals take shape in policy, not that we win. Winning happens when you're right and you convince other people you're right. Winning is a side effect, buddy. So I think you've lost it there. Well, recently, whenever you're challenged, as to what you're doing to fix things, you always put the onus back on the callers. What have you done? What have you done? That's a cop-out, buddy. Lead by example. What are you doing? Is it just going to be talk? Is that it? And you've spent so much time this week on sound bites and so little on calls. It's like I could just tell you're avoiding the wrath of the callers. They're pissed off. I'm pissed off, Rush. And I'm letting you know it. You're on notice, buddy. I'm pissed. But to be fair, I speculate that you've always sort of worked under this talker's code where you don't really have any effect on things. You just sort of, sit back and comment on things, and you let people make up their own minds, and that's noble. I get it. That's cool. But I think I'm just being generous with you. There's no code. You don't rock the boat because you don't want to hurt the profit center. Am I right, Rush? Huh? Am I right? Yeah, that's right. You're playing it safe. Well, look where that's getting us. And yet you send these mixed signals. It's like, what are you doing? And I'll give you two examples. The Bush interviews before, trying to get him reelected. And now this Operation Chaos. Are you an agent? Are you a conservative leader? Are you active in the process or not? I need you to decide. This is ridiculous. What Operation Chaos, let me guess. Operation Chaos was this schadenfreude. You were getting some revenge, right? But really in the end it didn't make a difference. You knew Hillary was toast and Obama was going to be the nominee. So you really didn't have any effect. You just kind of extended the length of things. Well, that's great. That's really great. So anyways, just to let you know, I'm not a seminar caller. I have listened since Bush 41. I've never called. I have a lot of nostalgia. I can vividly remember standing at the bus stop in the barrio in the San Fernando Valley on my way to work at Egghead Software, now defunct, with my Walkman on, listening to this beautiful monologue about how to be an entrepreneur and being a success, and that was really formative for me. Now I'm actually trying to start my own little website. My own collaboration website and get my own business going. And I credit your encouragement of me with some of my boldness. But now, your monologues are way less intense when you have them at all. And as such, the shows tend to lack a lot of thematic continuity since your callers have nothing to call in and contribute to. Mostly you just jump us into sound bites and monologues, or montages, which are entertaining, but, not very satisfying. So I think your stacks of stuff have really detracted from your show. Mainly I'm just bored with the formula, Okay, hypocrisy, right? Liberals are hypocritical. I get it. Barney Frank is annoying and hypocritical. I get it. Okay. But recently, I feel like you're kind of bored too. Like, what's with the LifeLock ads? Like, give me a break. In the content, save it for the freaking commercials, okay, buddy? You're wasting my time. Plus, I can see why you're kind of phoning it in. I mean, McCain, what was that about? It's like, what a stinker, right? And what was with Palin? God! Oh, it's terrible. The whole thing was a mess. Well, you said things were going to be different. When you came back from drug rehab, you were talking about how you were going to be speaking your mind now and you weren't going to hold back. And I was like, finally, this is it, man. Rush is going to become activist. This is what we need. We've needed this for a long time. And it turned out to be a lot less spectacular than that. I think you're just saying you're going to be honest about people. And there's been a little bit of that. I've kind of caught that. Like, calling McCain Yosemite Sam. That's funny. That's cool. But it's really not getting us anywhere, My opinion is that you were much more powerful when there were fewer voices. And that really hurts to say, because I do kind of idolize you a little bit. But, I mean, there's just so much information out there now, and you're getting less and less ear time, I think. So the dilemma is, how can we mold you? How can we shape you while allowing you to remain a talker? I mean, obviously you don't want to become a politician, and I don't think you should be. But what can we do? Well, I think I got an answer. But first, some observations. So liberal ideas are still easily countered. That's clear. They're cocky now, but I think the cockiness is actually going to make it easier for us to nuke their ideas. It's so ridiculous sometimes. Your core ideas on conservatism are among the best I've heard, so I think we need to start harping on those. Your web footprint is incredible and commendable, and I think I'll get into why that's important later. And there are a lot of rhinos that need to go. There are a lot of rhinos that, I'm sorry, this is, we need to purge. We need a reorganization in 2010. And right now, there's so much talk of individuals. Bobby Jindal, are you kidding me? This is not about individual leaders. This is about the conservative movement. It is a failure. It isn't failing. We've failed. We've been rebuked. It's time to clear the board. Anybody who isn't on board with us, we're going to chuck them overboard. Throw them under the bus. And right now the anger's still hot, as you can tell. I'm pretty pissed. So it's time to seize the initiative. So what's the way forward? Well, there's a couple problems. First, there's too many conservatives like me. I've never protested. I've never, handcuffed myself to City Hall or anything like that. Or I shower every day. I pay my taxes, which is probably a problem. So, but I have given to political organizations before. I have done some canvassing in Dole's campaign. Of all campaigns, terrible. But I have been a little bit active. So we need to have a framework that works with conservatives like me, the silent majority. The other problem is these rhinos. We got to paint a bullseye on them. They got to get the axe out. They got to go. They're weighing us down, right? And finally, the fairness doctrine is threatening the integrity of my favorite talk show, which is Rush Limbaugh. So how can we solve this? Well, I think I have a solution, long-term solution, and that is rushcoalition.com. And I got the domain name registered, buddy. I'll hand it over to you free of charge, Take over.